Hello everyone. Hi, happy Wednesday. It's Lisa from Lisa's Paint Parties, and we are here with our live weekly paint session. Hello. Awesome. So it's almost 6 o'clock, so we'll be starting a little bit after 6, just to make sure everyone who wants to join us today will have all their supplies and get ready to do so. We're going to be painting our version of this painting. Whimsical Dreamcatcher is what I've dubbed it. This one, so all the images that I share with you guys every week. So every Saturday I put 3 images up on the site and everyone votes for the image that they like best. And then the winning vote is the painting that I do live on Wednesday with you guys. I've never painted it before, so I walk you through how I would approach it. And I encourage you to share any tips and tricks, things that are working well with everyone as well, because we're all doing this together for fun. So with this painting, I love it. I think it's so beautiful, and I think we can do so many cool things with it. I know a few people had really liked the background of the dandelion picture that we also had up this past week. So you could always incorporate those colors and make it super bright in the background too, if that's something you would want. So right now I would say just take a look and think about how you want to make this your own. The other thing that I would suggest doing is, as you can see, there's like the Dreamcatcher is a beautiful circle. And that can be a little tricky. And as most of you know who've joined me before, I do tend to take risks and just totally go with it. But that doesn't always work so well. So what I've done, and I would suggest you to do as well, in our setup start, is maybe grab, like if you have like a round like Tupperware container or something round that maybe you want to use as a guide. So I just have like a Tupperware container that I might use like that, just to like give me a good line. I also have like a lampshade, which is bigger. So I might use that potentially to like figure out, I don't know how big I want this to be, so we'll cross that bridge in a little bit, but maybe I would suggest you can do it just by hand, but if you have any ideas and you want to grab something round to kind of be a guide of how big we want that Dreamcatcher to be, do that now while we get all prepped and ready. Also, I'll ask you, I don't know if you saw the little spammer that came on just a moment ago. I already had to block maybe like 15 different spammers trying to put links up on my account over the past 2 hours, so it's super fun. So if you guys see them pop up in the comments, please just click. I think you can report and ban or delete or something. You can do something that like makes sure they don't do it again. I've put some things in there already to try to block, but they seem to not have anything else to do, so we'll go from there. Awesome. I see a lot of you guys are here. Hi, Lynette. Hi, Marion. Hi, Trisha. Hi, Ruth. Yay, Lori's here. So it's Lori's birthday tonight. Yay! So we're going to be virtually celebrating her birthday. This is actually her top choice, too, so I was really happy when I saw that it was a big majority of your guys' top choice. So I'm sure you're happy about that, Lori. So I'm really excited. And there's no trees this week, which I know Lori had asked. She really didn't want to do a tree, I don't think, on her birthday, so I'm glad this worked out and you like the painting. Hi, Steve. Hi, Michelle. Perfect. So I think we're going to get started in about 5 minutes or so. So like I said, if you need, I would suggest having a screenshot of the image with you. So if you grab it from a previous post, or I can hold this up again. It's not the best, obviously, from one device through another to you, but you can always capture it this way and then just have it available to you as we go. I am going to have this set up beside on my canvas, and you can't see it right now, but I'll move the camera when we start painting, so I will have it set up right beside, so you'll be able to see it as we go. And like I said, for anyone else who missed it, you might want to grab maybe a guide, or even if you have like a protractor or something that can give you an idea of where you want that Dreamcatcher to land. I would suggest grabbing that too for today. Cool. Awesome. Hi, Dana. And anyone who's joining as well, if you kind of jump in and you can't watch this, or if it's taking too long, first of all, you can rewind the live video, so that's cool. You can always go back and check things out if you missed something. The second thing is it will be available on the videos tab on the Facebook page for free, so you can always watch whenever it's convenient for you. And I'll also have it on my YouTube channel, so you can watch it at a later date or share it with anyone else you might who might be interested in it. Cool. Awesome, awesome. So I think I want to start putting some paint on my palette. So just in terms of supplies, again, for anyone who's new and who hasn't joined me before, I usually have 2 water containers. Gets pretty dirty around here. So yeah, so I have 2 water containers ready to go. I have a bunch of paper towel kind of like folded like in a stack. I'm a little bit like control freak, so I kind of like fold them all in like a neat stack. So I have them ready to go there. I have also my dirty, I'm a control freak, but not clean. Anyways, I have my dirty paint palette, but that will be where I'm going to put all my paints and go from there. My canvas is a canvas board, but again, you can do any of what you like. Let me just do that. 1 second. Spam. Okay. There we go. Sorry. That's the thing that takes it most annoying about this whole process is these people. Anyways, I don't know what their end goal is. Like, I haven't actually clicked on the links to see where it goes, but don't. I don't know if they get money from clicks or if they're trying to get your personal information, but regardless, don't click those links. And if anyone else jumps on, if you see them, just like make a note, say don't click it, and try to, you know, get them out of here. Anyways, canvas board, I get them from Amazon, like in a pack of like 12 or 10 depending. This is 11 by 14. I really like this size for all the paint parties that we've been doing. It works well, and it's really easy for me to store all my paintings and easy to display in a frame as well. Like, it fits really nicely. We're going to be doing it in a portrait today. You can change it up if you want though, so feel free. Again, you can make it totally your own. And then I have a bunch of paint, but like I said, the main paints that you really need to do anything, if you have black and white, and my paints are always from like a dollar store, so never very expensive, yellow, blue, and red. So if you have these 3 colors and then the black and white, you can make anything out of them. So I'll talk you through that. If you have anything else, like if you have like other colors, which I do, and I might end up using for fun, like again, it might be easier at some points to just use like a pre-mixed green or a pre-mixed orange or a pink or something. If you have those, that's cool. So you can use those too. But I'll walk you through what to mix if you don't have those colors available, okay? Cool. So let's see where we're at. Perfect. Hey, Michelle from Nevada. That's cool. It's awesome. I love seeing people from all over the place. It's really exciting. So I'm in Ontario, and I'm in Ajax, which is like 30 minutes outside of Toronto. Yeah, so that's where I am. So yeah, so it should be fun. We had some snow this morning. It like disappeared really quickly, but it was nice. We put up all our Christmas stuff today. I don't know if anyone else has already done so. We usually do it like, would have been this past weekend. But it didn't happen this time. And usually we do it with like the Santa Claus parade. So it usually happens, I think it would have happened like this past weekend. But anyways, but yeah, it's really fun to have everything up and going. All right, cool. So let me set up my camera. So like I said, we're going to have this going here. And I'm going to move this down like this-ish. That works for now. Maybe I'll move this over a little bit too again. I just don't want everything to fall. All right, cool. All right, move this over so there's not as much of a shadow that way. Perfect. Awesome. Catherine, you're in New York. That's cool. Lori's in California. Perfect. You're in Toronto. Nice. Fellow Torontonian. I still consider myself Torontonian because I did grow up in Toronto. Although at this point I know I'm like I'm not a Toronto person anymore. Like I get it. I still say that sometimes, but I was there for like 30 years, so I still feel like I'm a Toronto person. Nice. Washington State. Perfect. Cool. In Minnesota. Amazing. That's awesome. You got your first snow last night. That's awesome, Michelle. Very cool. In Nevada. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know, like, I saw some great pictures from different places on Facebook and stuff about the snowfall, so that was really neat. Oh, neat, Michelle. I'm so glad your Ariel's joining us. Hi. I'm so glad. Wait, this is definitely, like, we can, yeah, this is something that anyone can do. And I'm going to walk you through it. So we'll talk about how we're going to approach it. And as I always do, that's what I'm going to do right now. Let's talk about how we're going to approach this painting. So as in all paintings we do, we're always going to start with a background. So this background, I really love it. It's beautiful. It has like some beautiful different colorings in it. Super fun. And I'll walk you through how to do that. So we're going to do that first. So let's not even talk about anything else right now. Let's just go with that first. So the first thing I want to do is, anyone guess? We're going to have to wet our entire canvas with some water. Let me just get rid of the scammy person too. As soon as we like start this process, oh, they're fast. Sorry, what is going on here? Oh, it doesn't let me like, sorry, one second. People drive me insane. I don't know why it's not letting me click it. Okay, don't click those links, but it's not letting me like delete them for some reason. Maybe they figured out a sneaky way to like stay on. I'm not sure. Yeah, so if someone can report those, that would be awesome. But let me just continue talking. And hopefully as we continue painting, they'll stop. So I have water on my paintbrush. I'm using my largest paintbrush. I didn't talk about my paintbrushes, sorry. I always use a large, like a medium, and like a fine point, and that's just in relation to my canvas size. So if you're doing a small canvas, you just need smaller ones. Okay, so just water, and you're just going to put water on your canvas, okay? Now, you don't want it to be soaked, but you do want it to be wet. If it's too soaked, then it's going to be really hard. It won't dry very quickly, and it's not going to be good when we do the next step. But we need it to be wet, so the paint will spread easy when we get a nice background on there. You know, I also, the other thing I hate about the scammers, and I am going to talk about this again because I freaking hate it, is that it ruins like our comment thread. Like, we have good comments going and people are like chatting or, you know, and then, or I'm trying to keep an eye on it to see like, ooh, does this person have something to say? And then all I see is people posting stupid links. It makes me so angry. Oh, sketchy sketchers. So you try it, eh, Mary? What is up? Not cool. I'm going to try another way and see if I can do it. One second. Okay. I found a way. Sorry. It's going to be a little annoying, but I am going to do this because I just don't want anyone to... I don't want anyone to get scammed by it. Do you know what I mean? So just give me a second. Oh, that's really funny. It just has my cell phone in. Okay, one second. Okay, so I was able to do it through my phone, so I was able to get one of them, but I wasn't able to get the other one. Oh, all you guys are trying. I love you guys so much. I appreciate so much that you guys are trying to get that done. It's funny too because then on my actual Facebook thing, like they're not showing up, like on my phone. Isn't that weird? Ugh, I hate them. I hate them so much. Okay, sorry. Oh, we're not going to let this ruin Lori's party. Okay, let's just get back into it and get paint on here so then people won't think they have to click anything. Okay, I'm just going to get some more paint, water on here before I start. Okay, so now that we got water, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put any paint on my palette yet. I talked about it, but I didn't do it. Okay, so the paint that we want on here, I'm going to want quite a bit of white because white is going to be what we're going to use to like mix and dull out some of our colors. And you can kind of play with almost every color. So I'm going to add like a bit of blue, not a heck of a lot. I'm going to add a bit of yellow, and I'll show you my palette in a moment once I pop them on there. Put some red. Oh, yeah, that is not cool. Ooh, Kayla was able to. Good job, Kayla. I love it. All right, so that's kind of what I have. A ton of white and like a little bit of the other colors for now. And then let's start. So now this is wet, so I'm going to still go with my big old brush to start. I'm going to start with white paint, and I'm just going to start anywhere you want and just get some white paint on your canvas in the corner. Well, sorry, I said anywhere you want, and I said in the corner. You can start anywhere you want. So let me just get some white paint on here. Once I have a little bit of paint on here, now I'm going to get like a little bit of even the blue there, and now I'm just going to put it into the white. Just put it a little bit, and then just kind of like go back with your white. So that I put a little dollop of blue, and then I'm getting white, and then I'm just putting more white like on top of it in like crisscrossy, like back and forth motions. And then that's like blending it, but it's still kind of keeping it visible and present. And I'm going to do the same thing with the red. So I'm going to get a little bit of red on my brush, and I'm going to go like here. Then I'm going to get white, and then I'm going to go back and forth, like crisscrossy, get more white, because I don't want it to be like, I don't want to take over. So the white is kind of like my way of ensuring that the background still stays like mixed, you know? Because if I just keep going with the red, it's going to be red or blue everywhere, right? Oh, thanks, Valerie. I finally found some, like a station on Spotify that, sorry, I'm just putting yellow and doing the same thing. So I'm putting yellow on here, and then I'm going to put white paint again on top of it. Yeah, so I found a station on Spotify that just does like classical music. So I think this is like Tchaikovsky or something. Something that's not, that I can't, that they can't block the music from. Because what happens is if you use anything that's copywritten, they can like mute your sound. So during the live, it's okay, but when I just want the video to be up for future, then they'll like just mute me. And it's like, well, I mean, people could still watch me paint, I suppose, but the whole component of talking through it would be kind of lost, right? So I'm just doing the same thing, putting a little bit of blue. I'm getting more white. I want it to have like some globbiness of colors happening. So yeah, and as I'm doing it, like even though it's like really vibrant to start, it dulls out very quickly, right? Did more red here. I got a lot more white on my brush, so get those into here. And a little bit of yellow. So yeah, just have fun with it, and like flop your brush around. There's no like rhyme or rhythm to it. Or maybe it's just follow your own rhyme or rhythm. Just have your own beat and go with it. Put some more blue here. Just looks like pretty colors on the page. On the canvas. Okay. So I think what I'd like to do is I'm going to switch from my large brush, and I'm going to, now that I have my whole thing covered in like some sort of color, I want to put a little bit more yellow down here. You know what? I might actually add like a little bit of black actually before I go into that. So I do want it to have a little bit of gray in here somewhere. Yeah, let's do that. Just be careful with your black, because the black will take over like crazy. Maybe I should have switched my brush first before going there. Yeah, this music goes pretty well with this crisscrossy randomness. You'll also, anyone again who hasn't drawn before, you'll notice I'll say like I'm going to do something and then I end up continuing the same thing that I did before for a little while longer before I swap out. So I apologize for anyone who prefers more direct consistency. Yeah, so I'm going to switch to a smaller brush just so I can get a little bit more, like right now this brush is taking up a lot of space. So every time I paint, it's like a big thing of blue and I don't necessarily want that. So I'm going to switch to a smaller brush so I have just more like, basically more control over the concentrations of color that I'm putting on. So at this point, I'm just washing my big old brush. It does look tie-dye, yeah. It's pretty fun. Oh, I'm glad you're having fun with this, Carol. That's awesome. Yeah, it's fun. Like, this is just like, just play with the colors. Enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Just play with it. Remember, like, if you go over the same color a lot, then it's going to just blend. So you kind of want to, you know, like stop after a little while, you know, or maybe clean off your brush to make sure if you want to go into a different area that you're not bringing in that dark blue into there or whatever, right? So you want to think about a few things like that. But overall, like, yeah, just play. That's all this is. This is like playing. Okay, so I think this brush should be good. It's a little smaller. Okay, so I kind of want to do the same thing. Stick with white first, but I'm using just a smaller brush, like a medium brush. And I think with this, I'm going to use to wipe my brush out. Okay, so I think I want to do a bit of green. So I'm going to put a little bit of blue and yellow together. And I'm just doing it a little bit on my palette. So there's a bit of green on my brush now. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of green like in this area. Clean that brush off, get some white. Yeah, that's fine. A bit of a glare going on. What's giving that glare? Is this one? Yeah, but then it's too dark. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to live with that glare on there, but you can still see the color okay. Yeah, Tina, absolutely. So this will be up. So you can actually rewind it if you want it. If you want to do it now, you could rewind it and start off at the beginning, and you could do it, or you can watch it later. It'll be up on the Facebook page, and it'll also be up on my YouTube channel too. And Bonnie, hi Bonnie. This would be really fun in watercolor. Absolutely. Can't wait to see it. I'm just putting in a little bit of, just basically still playing with the color, only with a smaller brush. So, and with some of the brush strokes and making sure like everything is covered. So one thing I kind of noticed in my joy of like playing with all the color to start is I did miss, like some of my canvas is still showing, like some of the corners and maybe even the sides. So like you may want to go and just take a, like hold it a bit away from you and just make sure that you're covered it fully. Because we don't want later to be like, oh my gosh, the canvas is showing through fully. That's kind of sick. Just play with it, and just you can add like a little bit of bursts of colors in random spots if you so desire, and just pretty much just do this until you don't want to do it anymore. Either you don't want to do it anymore or you feel happy with it, I guess. Because it's either until you get bored or until you're like, yes, I have accomplished this. I feel like I need a bit of a softer brush. I wonder if I have one that will be more, trying to get out of my comfort zone and see what brushes I have. So I don't, whoa, this brush decides to leave most of it behind on the canvas. Okay, well, that's why I use the same brushes all the time. Okay, well, or I'm going to have a hairy canvas. Maybe that will just happen. Just more texture, right? Anywho, cool. So I think I'm going away from the blue a bit, and I don't want to. Yeah, it's definitely a tie-dye groove. I like it. And again, this is like just your background too, right? Like the big star of the show is this Dreamcatcher. So if you're digging this, cool. If you're not and you're like, this is just not working for me, you can always just kind of blend it out fully, and that would look really nice too, right? Like even if you end up getting a bigger brush and just like, you're like, oh, I don't like the streaks, you just want it to be more, you know, like solid, I guess, in the color, that would look fine too. I'm digging the brush strokes personally. And I think it does kind of give like an airy like vibe that goes well with it. So. I'm enjoying using the smaller brush because it's just like giving me some different textures too, because then the other brush strokes were so large. So just really use whatever's working for you. Just laughing at the little hairs that are on here from the last hairbrush. It's funny. Cool. Yeah, I think I want to put some more white. The white blends into everything else, but it will just make things a little bit lighter. Yeah, so just play with this for a little bit longer, and then we'll stop. And we'll figure out where we want to have our Dreamcatcher to live. But where do we want it to live? How big do you want yours to be? And again, this is our inspiration one. You might really like the way it's kind of like half off the canvas. Maybe you want it dead center, right? Maybe you want to do this, you know, on a landscape setting and change up the vibe of it, right? So again, you can change this any which way you desire. It doesn't have to be exactly like this. And mine's not going to be exactly like this. It's going to be a little bit different, right? I do like the image a lot, so I'm going to be doing it very similarly. Okay, cool. Yeah, it will. I think so too, Bonnie. Yeah, it will look like feathers. I agree. Awesome. Okay, cool. So now we have a nice background. It's pretty darn wet. Now, we need to start thinking about where we want that Dreamcatcher to be. Everything's still very wet, so I'm hesitant to obviously put this down. But I feel like that is a good size, and I think this Tupperware lid might work pretty good. Because it's kind of like, if you look at this image, it's about, that's like halfway on the canvas about here, right? It's just a bit lower than like a quarter of the way down. So this is about a quarter, I suppose. So I can just eyeball it and like kind of put it there. So I think that is where I'm going to go with it, more or less. So I would say if it's dry, then definitely you could put something down and start doing your angle, or you can just use something as a guide as well. So I think I'm gonna use this as a guide, but I'm not gonna put it down on the canvas. We'll see. Oh, you know what? Maybe I want it to be flipped the other way. Hold on, let me see. Do I like that more? No, I think I do like it the other way. So I notice, yeah, there's a bit more like detail. I feel like there's more detailed brush strokes going on down here, but I want that because up here we're going to have more stuff happening with the actual Dreamcatcher, so. Cool. Awesome, awesome. I'm going to take another quick look to see if any of our scammy friends have tried to do anything. Okay, so far there's been nothing else from what I can tell. Yahoo! Okay, I do want this actually to be a little bit darker. I'm going to just make it a little bit darker before I continue on. I'm just going to get a bit of purple going on. So I'm mixing some red and some blue just on my palette, just getting a bit of a purple, adding a little bit of like white to it. So I want it to be a little bit light, and then I'm going to just add some purple in here. I want it to be a little bit darker. I want it to pop a little bit more. Get some white. Right, and this is the time too, like if you have like a pre-mix like turquoise, if you have like a random kind of color that you're not getting just by mixing your own colors, like definitely you can like throw it on, put a couple little strokes in. Yeah, I think that looks better. It looked a little too unfinished before. I felt like it looked a little too light. Not like it. A little bit more purple somewhere else just to carry it across. I guess there's already some down here that was already mixed automatically. Let me get some of those other ones. Yeah, so again, like once things dry and like you kind of look at it again, you might decide you want to put some more, as I just did, and that's totally fine. And honestly, we would probably do that even after we've put some other images on. So even when we do some more, if you see some little spots, you can definitely go back and do a little bit of touch-ups here and there. A little more blips of color on spots. It's so fun. I really like this. Okay, so I get no, okay. Okay, let's see if this works. I'm going to try to use a pencil and my guide, and I'm going to basically prop my fingers at the top to hold this where I want it to be, and then I'm going to that worked. Alright, so you could definitely use a pencil. So if you want to do what I did, it totally worked. So I just put your guide and then just line it the way you would want to line it. I don't know if I kind of feel like I want this to be a little lower. I kind of want it to come down a bit. It's not going to be as circular. I think it's okay. I think I'm overthinking it. All right. Let's do it. Okay. And honestly, too, if you wanted to, you could potentially get like another circle to kind of give it a smaller one and make a smaller one as well. So we could do that too. But I think just for the sake of this, I think we'll start with the exterior. I still feel like it looks weird, unless I clearly didn't do it right because I was doing it angled. No, it matches it perfectly. Okay, cool. Maybe I need it to be bigger. No, we're fine. Okay, I think I am going to continue to use a pencil to decide where I want my lines before I then paint on top of it. So that's how I'm going to approach this. This is all still wet too, but I'm not putting my hand down on it. I'm just going to be kind of deciding where I want the lines to be, with the intention of me going to paint on top of them. So I think then if you have a similar kind of pattern, I'm kind of looking, I have a Dreamcatcher on my wall. I'm kind of looking at the pattern of that one. It's a bit more ornate, so I don't think I want to go that route. Okay, so I think I'm going to put another line kind of parallel to the one that we just created. It's about this, more or less the same width around. And then we're going to put this other circle. You can't erase here, so this is the trick. It's looking pretty silly. I probably should have got smaller circles. If someone has like a protractor, that would work better. Okay, I'm just going to go with it. Okay, so that is more or less, more like less. This needs to come in more. Where I want that to live. Okay. I need to look at it a little bit away. I don't know if you can actually see it from the camera there, but I'm doing some weird indents around here. Okay, so now if you just did what I did, I'm going to do a little bit of touch-ups because I obviously ended up painting where I didn't want to paint, so I'm going to kind of delete some of my pencil lines with a little bit of white paint, because like I said, everything is still wet on my canvas, so that kind of works to my benefit. You can't really erase it like with an eraser, but we can kind of just touch it up slightly. So I just want to make sure I can see where my lines are, so if it makes sense, and if it doesn't, I can kind of go back over it. If you have a protractor and you're actually doing proper circles, is it a protractor? Am I using the right term? But that's what you should be doing. That would probably be the best way to go about making these circles. Or you can just wing it like me, and we'll just see what happens. That's always fun too. I think that is more how we want it. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's my hair now, so can't really get upset with the brush for that. Okay, cool. That's working. Awesome. So now let's put some of these lines in. Okay, so I'm going to get my fine brush. I'm going to get black paint, and I'm just going to make sure that my paint hasn't dried while it's been on my palette for too long, so I'm going to put a little bit of water in it to thin it out, because mine dries pretty quickly. Okay. And I want to put my hand in wet paint. I do that all the time. So we're going to line in the black paint. I'm going over my pencil line. If you've done perfect circles, it's going to look like 1,000 times better than mine. Because as you saw, I just did the one with the guide and the rest was all by fluky hand. But that's how I roll. Okay, so this one is a pretty solid line. Trying to make it pretty consistent across. Like sometimes I got a little bit thinner, sometimes I got a little bit thicker, so I'm just trying to make it the same line all around. Okay. Funny bunny. Protractor, yep. I do love puns. They're my favorite. Hey, Linda. Yeah, of course. You can definitely go back. I'm glad that you stopped and said hey. This obviously has a weird angle on it. Hopefully yours does not. Okay, let's not worry about that as much. And I am going to keep going back to it because it is going to bother me that it's not perfect. So brace yourselves for more comments about it. And again, I know that could have then been avoided by me just using the correct tool, but you know. Not doing it. Okay, so let's go around this one here. I'm kind of weird about using like stencils and using different things. I feel like it's not like real, even though I know it is. Like I know like using different tools to like assist in the process. Like literally I'm using a paintbrush, right? Like that's a tool. But I get really weird about it. Like I don't know. Like I feel like it's more real when you do it like yourself, even if there's imperfections. I don't know. Even though, like, obviously, like, it's pretty hard to draw a perfect circle. So. I have weird thoughts like that. So this line, I am going to make this a bit thicker to try to match that one, because that one's a little bit thicker in this center here. I feel a lot more like comfortable being quiet now when there's like something in the background. Okay. Oof, that line's really bothering me now. You know what? Oh, I love that, Marion. That's fantastic. Marion writes, in traditional indigenous culture, the mistakes are left are to be left. Nothing is perfect. Traditional natural materials were used and not perfectly round. Imperfection keeps us humble. I love that. Just that I was going to be like, I think I'm going to paint over that, which I might still do. But, because it's like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I think I went too wide here. I should have kept it a bit wide. Okay. But you're right. You're right. I do love that. And I agree with you too, Bonnie. Yeah, absolutely. We're creatures who figured out how to figure out tools. Yeah, so you work smarter, not harder. I totally agree. That's why I get like weirdly torn between it, you know? Oh, I'm glad you will be, Catherine. That's awesome. Definitely do. I can't wait to see it. Okay, I think I am going to paint over that line because that is bothering me. And then I'm going to bring it out. I don't know. It looks weird. You know what? No, forget it. I'm leaving it. Okay. Where'd this be? Okay. So I'm going to, let's go with this outline here. So I'm going to do the same thing. But with this one, as you can see, the way I'm going to achieve that is I'm going to go across with this one first. Now everything's dried, so I can put my hand on the painting without it being wet. Although I kind of was doing it before with it being wet, but doesn't look as bad with that, I suppose. Okay, so I think what I want to do with this outside is I want to kind of make it look like it's been twisted. So I'm just gonna basically just connect it and just have like little curves coming down. And I'm going to do this right now in black, but then I think I'm going to put a bit of different color on the inside of it too, just to kind of make it look like there's some material or something that's inside. Because right now it's weirdly, like, you can see through with the background. I don't like that. You can still see it if I do that. Yes, you can. Okay. It's not working for me either. Let's go upside down, I guess. Okay, cool. So instead of it being like a super straight edge, it kind of gives me a bit of a, you know, like a bumpy rounded edge, which I think looks more natural. Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's see. I think we're going to continue using our black and putting in some more detail before I go back and like touch up that. I think that's what I want to do. And I also noticed too, yeah, there's some where things are tied, it looks a little bit different too, so I've got to keep that in mind as well. And I'll draw that out. So I did put that around, but if you look like where this feather is tied, you'll see like in the painting, you can tell that it was tied around and it's a different color than whatever color we're going to end up using for this around here. So we're going to have to keep that in mind when we do those. Okay. All right, so now let's put in some of the designs. So this has a nice like rounded. So I'm going to try to, I think I'm going to start like here. That's cool. Going to create kind of like a V shape essentially, but like, no, I guess more of like a U shape realistically. I'm not doing it fully rounded at the bottom. Maybe I should do a little bit. Yeah. It's a little better, I guess. I need to turn it, I think. Cool. Okay, and I have a nice zigzag, and they're a bit more thinner zigzags than our U shapes. So let's put start in one spot and build from there. Okay, so let's do some triangles all around. Okay. Not too shabby. Again, a little funky there. I'm gonna go with that. Okay, what else? We got some black going on. We have more circles. All right, so let's do it. Why not? Okay, so I'm gonna start, I think, with like the small circle in the middle. Wait, what is wet? I think we're okay. I need to put my hand down for like balance. Okay, so I'm gonna put in a small circle in the center of my circle there. And then I'm going to draw another circle around. There we go. And then there's a whole cavalcade of circles, like all around here. All right. Okay, let's just do it. Let's see what happens. Okay. The worst that's going to happen is we don't like it, and then we can paint over it. And I am telling myself that in a way more than it's for you guys, but it's also for me. That's the difference where I like painting a lot of landscapes and stuff, because there's a lot more forgiveness into how natural things can be when it's something that's so detailed and ornate and symmetrical. This is the kind of stuff that freaks me out. But it's good to be pushed out of your comfort zone, so I'm down for the challenge. It's gonna be a big circle on the top. Okay, not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I still think it's a little bit close, but that's okay. We're gonna go with it. Okay, and then we also need little circles in the middle. Little dots, maybe. There we go. Yay! Okay. What else do we got? So we have lovely, there's also like little dots inside all of, like around this circle here in black. So I think I'm going to add that in now too. So I'm just going to put a couple dots inside each of the triangle. It looks like about 5 are fitting. Oh, that one only had 4. Try to make them symmetrical, but no. Cool. Cute. And I think also in black we have, there's like a little bit of like kind of a line that's going kind of around these, but not like fully. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just put in kind of like a line beside it, but not fully connected. Cool. Maybe a little bit was there. Awesome. All right, not too shabby. Oh, thank you, Veronica. I'm glad that you're enjoying and you're watching. Again, like I said, I'm not an expert. I just love to paint, and I'm just approaching it the way I would like to paint it. So if it helps you, I love it. But there are like super qualified people out there that host very, very technical and like proper classes that will tell you all the proper tools prior to starting. So just wanted to say that piece. But I do love it. I love painting, and I love that you guys join me, and I love that it's a community, and it's been growing so nicely every week. I just really dislike the scammers. They are my enemies. All right, I think I'm going to go in and put in the white dots around there too before we venture down into the feather zone. I want to keep playing with this up here for now, so I'm going to put some white. And so just make sure that if you're doing that on this section where it's black, just make sure it's fully dry before you go in with white. I'm just trying to keep the dots like an equal-ish distance apart and about the same size. Okay, that looks good. Okay, cool. So I think that would conclude all of the details on pretty much, with the exception of some of the color, like I said, on there. And then we want to do that too. So I'm just thinking if I want to do that now, or if I want to go in to start putting some of the feathers and fun stuff there. Yeah, this is all dry, so we're good to start here. So we want to make sure, again, this is fully dry. What should we start with? I kind of want to do one of like the feathers to start. I don't know. What time do we got? It's almost 7, not too shabby. Okay, good, and we have the whole detailed back going. This is still gonna, I think, take a little bit of time just to get some of the detailing and whatnot. Probably easily the other hour. Like it should probably take a full 2 hours. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so I think what I want to do now is, I think I'm gonna start. I think I want to put in like a feather. I think I want to do this like big green feather that lives there. I have like a turquoise color, but I might just mix some yellow and blue together. Okay, let's try that first. So I'm going to first, I'm going to get one of my medium brushes. Which one do I like best? So find the brush that you prefer most. And let's start with that. Okay, so I'm going to mix a little bit of blue into my yellow to make some green. Or make a green, because there's some different color variations in it. And it depends on what blue and what yellow you have. So I have like, I think it's called like a peacock blue. And the yellow is called bright yellow, so it's going to make like kind of some kind of green. And basically, if I kind of do and I'm not super crazy about it, I might use the pre-mixed one, potentially. But I'm just going to see what I mix with it first. Okay. Okay, I think I'm good with that for now. It's not like as bright as that. It's actually pretty yellowy right now. But I'm going to go with it for now just to like place in my feather, and then we're going to decide. So I'm going to just decide how I want this feather to be. And again, I'm going to kind of think a bit more slender than bigger. So I'm going to think thinner, and then I can build it out. So I do want this feather to live and to be about here, and it's going to come down to about there. So just put a line down the middle of like where that feather is going to live. Okay. And then I want to just build it out. So I'm going to just use some brush strokes, and then some's going to come out a little bit further. And in the middle, like here, so it's going to come out a little bit more. So let's just loading up my brush with paint, and I'm just picking like any color right now, and then I'm going to add some other colors to give it some more like dimension and vibe. Okay. So we're just going to kind of bring it out in strokes. So we're just going to like start the top here. And then add a lot of paint on my brush, right? And sometimes feathers, like they randomly like stop, right? So we can kind of have it stop, and then maybe it like restarts out again here, right? Like that looks pretty cute, actually. And maybe it goes like that. Okay, so it's kind of the feather vibe. This green is not that green. This almost looks like peacock kind of colors, like. So I'm going to get some blue. I'm going to put the blue down the center on top of the wet paint. As I go, you'll see that it kind of dissipates because it just blends right into the color. Because if you notice on here, the middle of the feather is definitely a little darker. So So now I'm just going to bring and slosh it out a little bit. But every time I do, I'm getting more of the green, so then it kind of blends kind of right away. Okay, and then I'm going to get a little bit more blue. Let's put a little bit here. And lots more to come down this way. So again, I have not cleaned my brush. My brush still has a lot of green paint, like you see a lot of it in there. So as I'm painting, it keeps picking up some more of that green paint I made. And also I can kind of do this too if I want to get some of it on. And then I can so I just have like a bit of a different color here going on. And I'll put a little bit on this side too. And I think I'm going to switch over to like a thinner brush in a moment or two just to get a bit more detail and get some more specific colors on here. But first I want to play a little bit with the yellow. And I'm doing the same thing, so I'm just going to add a little bit of yellow to like just the line here and like the curve here. Put a little bit of yellow in here. Okay, and then I do think I'm going to get my pre-mixed green just because it'll be a bit more richer. It's pretty similar actually. Just to see if it can bring out a little bit more. Yeah, it is a little bit more punchier than the one I made. So I'm just going to add a little bit to the feather. Just adding it like in little spots here and there. And I think I'm going to go to my thinness brush. So I want to add more specific little color strokes and not touch it as much. So I'm going to get my thin brush. There's even some white going on. Let's play with that. Let's get a little bit of white on there. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's my water bottle. Oh, thank goodness. I heard like water like falling over. But it's my sealed water bottle, so we're good. But boy, that freaked me out. Okay, so I'm just going to get a little bit of white. I'm just putting like little strokes at the bottom here with the white. Oh, my white is almost dry too. Okay, so I think I want to bring this white kind of like around in different spots. Highlight some of the yellow on this feather, which is so pretty. And I'm just going to put a couple like little streaks of white. That just gives it more texture. That's looking pretty nice. Okay, I think I want to make it a little darker. In the middle there. So I'm just darkening up my green a bit. I put a little bit of black and I put quite a bit of blue. So I'm just going to bring a little bit of dark in here. Still tricky because it's still pretty wet. If you want the color to stay, what you need to do is you have to keep reapplying it on your brush, because if it's wet, it's constantly picking up the colors that are already been applied to the canvas. There's a little bit on this side too, just to keep going, and we know there's some dark strokes on this side too. Oh my gosh, I love it! I love it so much! This is so exciting! So the more like little detailed little lines you're gonna put in with different colors, like at first you're gonna be like, I don't know, but as you keep going, like now I'm gonna add a little bit of bright blue and put like little strokes in between some of the other colors I've already added, and it just looks so pretty. It's starting to really pop nice. I like it a lot. And with a little bit on this side, just so that it looks like it. Kind of that yellow line that I liked. Oh well, that's okay. It wasn't meant to be there. There we go. Cool. Okay. I'm getting some more green. And you can kind of just go back and forth with your colors, keeping like the center pretty dark. I don't know if I like what I just did there actually. There we go. Cool. I think I'm good with that feather. So let me just show you a little bit closer. Ooh, hi blurriness. I went too fast. There, so that's my feather. So lots of lines. And I think I'm going to keep it like that for now. I might change it up afterwards. We'll see. We'll see how the other ones kind of go and then decide from there. I think I'm going to keep on the feather train. And I'm going to put in, there's like a smaller here, like a smaller like orange feather. So let's do that one and see how that one goes. So again, I'm going to get a bit of a more medium, not really medium, it's still pretty fine, but it's still a little thicker than my finest brush. And I'm going to make some orange out of it. So a little bit of red into my yellow. Just to get a base for what I want to do. And this little guy, again, I'm not following my own rule. Sorry. Okay, let's draw the line down where it's going to live. And then now let's bring it out. And this one's a smaller guy. So again, just like bringing the brush and it's okay if we have like little ebbs and flows. That's totally fine. Okay, cool. Nice. Alright, so it's my bigger, well, not really bigger brush, but bigger than my fine point brush. So I'm just going to wipe that off. I like to keep them without acrylic paint on them normally. Okay, so now I'm going to get my fine brush. Now let's add. So with this one, there's like a little bit of red and there's some white down the middle. So again, let's kind of mimic. So there's some red around here. There's a little bit down here. Not really like that, but now there is. I'm gonna kind of do my own thing. Like similar, and then a little bit different. Okay, so now I'm gonna get some white. And again with the white, it's already almost pink on me. With some yellow. I'm just putting like different little strokes to kind of give it like a feathery feel. I'm just using like a couple different colors as I go, and I'm doing it on the wet paint. So as I'm doing it, it blends into the other ones a little bit, but then if I want the streak to remain, then you just have to get paint on your brush and then put the stroke in and then leave it. Those are like your decisive strokes. Like I need it to be white, or I need it to be red or orange or whatever color you're going with, and you leave it. Not like the color I want. Okay, I think I'm happy with that for now. But sometimes I like it and then I go back to it later and I'm like, nope, change it. So I'll just show you that one a little bit closer. I feel like it's missing a little bit on the bottom. I think I need to touch it up a little bit more there. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a little bit of, I'll get some white first, just to kind of emphasize the tip here. Yeah, I think that is almost all it needed, really. Just wasn't, it didn't look right. So I'm going to just show you that. I think that looks a little better. So it's that feather, that guy. I love the background so much. It's so pretty. Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, cool. Oh man, that's like a multicolor feather. Ah! That's a little scary. I didn't notice that one from before. Alright, cool. So what else do we got? So we got like another one here. It's kind of like a white purplish one. So let's play with that guy. Okay, so let's make a little bit of purple first. Blue and red. And mixy, mixy, mixy. I'm going to pick up some white in there because I don't want it that dark to start. It's actually pretty freaking light, actually, but I'm going to make mine a little bit darker, and then I might just lighten it up as we go. So this one is going to live like here. So it kind of started above the orange and about midway down, right? Okay, so it's got more white on my brush. So again, let's feather it out. Okay, just gonna bring it out. This paint is a lot drier than the other one, so it's harder to manipulate. You need to get a little bit of water. When you add water to your acrylic, it does like revive it, but you want to be cautious that you don't put too much because then it just becomes too watery. Okay, and this side is kind of thinner. Okay, that's that shape. And then we're going to play with it. Oh, I'm so glad, Linda. Linda's saying that she's loving the music. I like that there's something in the background that won't get muted in the future. I still would prefer it to be like more upbeat party, but I at the same time, maybe we all need a little bit of relaxation in our lives too, right? So. Okay, so I'm just going to get some white going on in here because this feather is pretty light. So, trying to get more white. So I'm just using my thin brush and just kind of doing strokes, following what like the shape of the feather. So kind of going around and a little bit darker. Put it in here. Trying to get more white on here. Cool, I think. So that one is the side of the purpley white one. Okay. Sounds good, Patty. I'm glad. Okay, so then we have a really nice long, like, it starts kind of orangey on top, but it's mostly yellow feather that goes like from here to about there. So let's put that one in. No, yeah, I'm going to use my thicker one, I think. I feel like that's going to be too thick, though. No, I might just go with my thinnest brush to put this one in because I'm a little worried about where it's going to land and I don't want it to be too thick. Okay, so this one is kind of goes above both of these, right down the middle, but not as long as Mr. Green. Okay. Okay, so let's with my thin brush. This feather is a lot thinner. It's a little thicker on the top. And then it becomes pretty darn thin as it continues on down. Yeah, so the university in Alberta is offering an online course for free on Indigenous Studies, and I just signed up to take it. So I'm really excited about it. And apparently it's like a go your own pace dealio, so it's not like super, you know, it's not like you have to spend a certain amount of time each, you know, week or a certain day of the week having to do it. So you can kind of do it whenever you want to. So yeah, so I'm really excited about that because I know like what we were taught in school isn't really like the full story about things. And so this course, I think, will delve a little bit further into some of the realities, some of the concerns, some of the issues that still persist within the Indigenous community, which I'm not super aware of. Like, I know very little. So I'm really looking forward to taking it. So I strongly, if anyone else is interested, definitely check it out. I think it's basically, so it's free if you just want the course materials to go through, or you can opt to get like a certificate. And if you do that, then I know things like $65 Canadian or something. Like, it's not a heck of a lot if that works for your, you know, if you would need a certificate or something, if that would help for other types of things you might be doing. But otherwise, it's free, and it's just being offered just to get people to be more aware of what happened. So I'm really excited about it. Okay, so now that I got my yellow on, predominantly, I'm going to get some orange, and I'm going to make it a little bit like lighter up here. Lighter, oh my gosh. Literally the opposite of what I said. I want to make it darker. Get some orange going. Put some of this here. And I want to bring down I think like anyone can take it too, so it's not just like a Canadian thing. Like, I think it's offered through like Coursera. So I know I've done, I did like a marketing class a long time ago through like Northwestern University through Coursera, but that I paid for. But, and that was like more of a commitment. You had to like sign up, and there was like different things to attend and whatnot. This one doesn't seem to have that same kind of commitment, so it's nice if you have other things going on, but you're still interested to learn, you know. I also know, I think there's other types of free courses available too, so I didn't realize that was an option. It makes me excited. Oh, cool, Marion. It's awesome and in-depth. There's also another one at U of T. No way. That's cool to know. Have you taken it, Marion? I'm assuming the way you said that, it sounds like you might have. That's very cool. I'm so excited. I heard about it earlier, like in, I think like, sorry, what I'm doing now is I'm getting white, and then I'm just making it a little lighter at the tip. So just like I made it darker at the top, I'm just adding a little bit of lines to the bottom, just to lighten up the bottom. Yeah, I heard about it, I think like maybe in August, or I can't remember when. But I just, like I was still getting back into getting back to work after being off for a big chunk of time. So I thought like that wouldn't be the best time. Even though it's still pretty flexible, I was like, I don't think I want to do that right now. Like, I feel like I couldn't commit properly. So now I feel like things are a bit more in a groove, that I can give it the proper attention it deserves and my focus. So I'm excited about it. I'm gonna bring in a little bit of white up here too, but not a lot. Just a little bit. Ooh, that one's very pretty. And I'm gonna bring a little bit of orange just down. I wanted to put it down. I'm back and forth between the colors like always. Ah, super cool, Marianne. There we go. So that's my yellow one. You see that? All right, so I got four feathers going on. So pretty, so fun. Oh, okay, so we have another feather here that's like a nice multicolored rainbow one. I'm gonna have to change my setup soon. Sitting on the floor is still holding on to it. I'm like, no, I can still sit on the floor for this, no problem. My body's like, I don't think so. What are you doing, lady? Okay, so for this feather, it's a little guy. This one kind of goes from just above the purple. Put a line, and they kind of tilt out slightly. Okay, so I'm going to start with some yellow. It's a little darker on top, but I'm going to start with yellow, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just pull, but I am going to go back and forth between some colors as I'm creating this feather. Okay, so I'm going to go into some orange. Okay, let's get some red. Sure, it's going to be super bright. I did go also a little bit purple too. Let me get a little purple and a little bit to the tip. That's cute. Okay, and then I'll get some, I'll just clean my brush off a bit. Oh, absolutely. Well, it makes it a lot more convenient to be able to get time to do, because you never know when things are gonna pop up. When I say things, I mean your children. You don't, yeah, it makes it a lot more flexible. I'm just adding a little bit of white to my feather because I feel like the white just makes it pop. And I like it a lot. Oh, so pretty! This is so much fun. I'm having so much fun. I hope you guys are too. I'm loving this. This is so cute. Now that I'm done like with the like specific circles and dots and trying to make it all balanced, now that I can kind of be free with my strokes, oh yeah. This is my jam. I'm adding a little bit of purple on top here. Sorry if you can't see it, because my hand's pretty much in the way. But I'll move in a moment. Okay. Alright, cool. I think I'm pretty happy with that. It's not like as colorful, but there's some fire feeling going on in there. It's pretty. Alright, cool. So we got all of these lovely feathers. And so I want to do that braid that lives here too. I think that's going to look really pretty. So let's do that one. Let me think about how we want to do that. we're going to kind of go with the shape and then add some detail with a thin brush. That's how we're going to approach it. Now, which brush am I going to prefer to use for this? Probably like a fine brush or a medium one, depending on how the bristles are going. If you feel like you have good control over it, just worried about, I think this one should be okay. I feel like it might be a little fat. I want something with a bit more control. I think we'll try and see if this is going to be okay. Okay, so I think for this, I'm gonna get kind of like I want to get it to brown, so I'm gonna make kind of an orange. I'm gonna get some red into my yellow. Okay, oh, that's very red. Not what I wanted it to. Okay, so I put yellow and red together and I made an orange. And then I put a little bit of blue and then I put a little dab of black. So I have this kind of this like brown-ish color going on. It's like a greeny brown color. I don't know if you can kind of see that too much on there. But it doesn't really matter what you have because we can always change it up anyways. So this feather, it's not a feather this time, Lisa. It is a hair piece. No, it's a braid. Okay, so let's just say how we want it to live. And this comes down like that. I'm already not liking this brush. But it's going to do what we need to do, I think. So let's... Okay, so we have the lines. Now we're going to make like little... Kind of what we did with those. We're going to make little curves to get little bumps. Try and have them similar in size. Have your brush, my brush has a lot of paint on it. But yeah, this is working the way I want it to so far. Okay. And there are some where there's like a bit of, like a little thing there, so I'm going to leave that for a moment. Come down a little bit. And again, there's like another little... Okay, this brush again. I'm going to switch my brush to my thinner brush when I do the end because this brush is not like keeping its bristles together. Like it kind of goes like bloop and flays out, so we don't like that. That does not give me control that I desire. I'm going to get my thin brush so I can continue after. So there's going to be that circle. And then I want it to come out like an almond or an eye shape. It's at the end of the hair. And I keep saying hair. It's just like material. It looks like hair. Kind of curves it like that. Cool. So that just gives, again, the backdrop for what we're going to do to give us some more details and more, to make it feel like it's hair. Because right now, I mean, it does kind of feel like a braid already. But not exactly the way I want it to feel. Okay. So I think I'm going to use white. So everything's still wet. So I want everything to come into the middle, and the middle is still going to be pretty dark. So I'm going to add a little bit of white to either side. Kind of give like a braided feeling. So I'm just getting white, and I'm just going to go around. And I'm going to just put some lines at the bottom here. And yes, just are little strips of fabric or hair. Okay. Cool. I'm just going to go back with this, and I'm just going to go with the darker color and just dull out some of the lines. Blend it a little bit with a lighter color brown. But I still want to keep it kind of dark in the middle. I just want to add a little bit more dimension to the color. I don't want it to be like strokes of white. I still want it to blend a little bit into the background. So I want it to be like multiple little strings of things. I don't want it to just be like a big glob of white. So I'm just getting some more of that brown. I say with like a question mark I mixed. It's kind of a brown. I just went back and forth a bit with that. I'm gonna get some, oh, I don't have more yellow. I'm gonna get a little bit of yellow, and I'm gonna play with that a little bit too. So I want to add a little bit of yellow as well. Like just the ever so slightest, like little line. Again, the more like little strokes of color and detail you can put into things like this, the more it's gonna look more like realistic, I guess. But still like a painting, because again, I don't go for like super realism, but okay, so now I'm going to go back. So I just did that. I love adding a color and then going back with like the base just to like tone it down, and I think that's what really makes it pop really well. Okay. So I'm just gonna go with the brown color I made and just add another little kind of like a swirl line across. I think that looks neat. It's a little different than that. Breaking it up a little bit. This is just with I've been using like a brown, so I mixed, I made like an orange, so I used yellow and red, and then I put a little bit of blue into it, and then I put a touch of black, and it just made this kind of like dirty, that's kind of a brown color, I guess. It's this color right there. That's kind of made it kind of like a muddy browny color. So that's what I used for that part to get like that base, and then use some yellow. I put some white, and then I went back to that same brown color that I initially made just to add a bit of a stroke in it to kind of get that feeling of it being braided or twisted, I suppose. I guess it's more of a twist that I kind of created, but that's how it looks for now. All right, and then I want to add like this like white bead and then this other bead that's there too. I'm going to get my thin brush again. Okay, so I'm going to go with white first. Let's do that one. Okay, let's do another circle. And let's put a circle right on top. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to use white as well for this part, and then I'm going to just make it more of a gray color. So this is kind of like it looks like almost like a square, and then like another square. Okay, and that has a bit of it looks almost a bit grayish. So I'm just going to get a touch of black, and I'm going to add that to this. Make it gray. Okay, that works. That's nice. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to leave that for a moment because I do want to put like, maybe I'll do the black line around here actually. Might do while it's wet, and then if it doesn't work out, it might be okay. So I'm just going to put a black. Outline around this one here, just to make it pop. Oh, I'm so glad, Michelle. That's awesome. Yay, thank you. That's so great that your daughter enjoyed it. It does go for a bit long. So I'm glad she enjoys it. I know my son is 8, and he would paint with me for the first couple sessions that I had, but then he's decided that I don't think it's his thing. He lacks the patience to want to complete it fully. He just wants to like get it done and like be like, okay, it's done there. I'm kind of like that too sometimes. Kind of looks like an 8. I'm a little worried about that. I don't want it to leak. Okay, there we go. Okay, and a little note there. Cool. Awesome. Okay. So, now, whew, oh, there's like a little buggy. Okay, so I want to wrap this guy kind of around, attach it to my Dreamcatcher. That would make sense, right? So I'm gonna put some material around here, like this. And it's gonna go on top of my lines, so it looks like I'm wrapping it around. There we go. So it's kind of attached, and I'll probably put a little bit of more detail on there. Just putting a few little lines in there as if it's like wrapped around different material that's attached to them. Okay, cool. And then what shall we do next? So we want to basically attach all our feathers, and then we need to put in some more details, and then obviously our dreams thing. So right now, where are we at? Okay, so about 14 minutes to 8 o'clock. So it's a little too thick of the black, so I'm just making it a little smaller, but it definitely made it more gray, so I'll have to put in more white later. Okay, that is fine. All right, so let's attach this green feather. So there are some lovely beads that connect it. So we have like a nice big red bead to start here. So just a nice big red circle. Okay. Okay. And then now let's do a smaller circle in another color. So let's do blue. Another bead lives right there. Okay. And then let's do a purple bead. It's about the same size as the blue one. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to put a nice little yellow guy. And this one is connected. Again, we have it attached to the top there. So let's have some strings. This one has like a few strings coming out. Like that. Cool. Okay, and then let's attach it. So I think I want to use, again, let's maybe both white and then gonna lighten it up afterwards. I mean, oh my gosh, darken it up. Okay, let's just make like a wrap that's connected with. Cool. There we go. And a little bit of that little gray. Oh, that's so cute that she did animals instead of feathers. That's amazing. Oh, that's so sweet. And I'm really glad she learned some new techniques. That's fantastic. Oh, thanks so much for joining, Michelle. I'm just putting a little bit of that like brown I made into this just to kind of make it match the other way I've attached that together. And we need a little bit of black. I'm just going to outline it a little bit and put some little lines in it as well. Cool. Nice, nice, nice. I do want to put a little bit of an outline around those too, but I'm going to leave that for now. Okay, so then we have, oh, I see, that's kind of cool. So there's a few that are attached to like all the yellow, the orange, and these other beads. They're all attached together here. So I think maybe what we will do is I'll create another little like attachment area. So I want to do it like here. So let's get white paint to start to say, okay, like this is where these other things are going to be attached. Cool. Get a little bit of black because I want to make it a little gray. Okay, cool. So I'm just basically putting like a little bit of a blob essentially. So like trying to be neat, like a neat blob. So I want my lines to be kind of good. Okay, and I'm going to get some of that brown I made earlier and just add a little bit to it because I think that makes it look more natural and good. Okay, cool. Then I'm going to get black. And I want to just outline it a little bit. And put a few like little ones like that. And then now, okay, so that orange feather has a few beads on it, so we can put some of those in. Oof. Too much water on my brush. Make sure it's not too much. Okay, so let's put a big blue bead on this one here. Cool. And then a smaller one that's like a reddy purple one. Okay, and then I think we'll do like a white bead. Does that one white? Yeah. Okay, cool. Okie dokie. And then we'll get some black. I want it nice and thin, ideally. This is nice. This is going to be attached. This. This one's going to be attached like that. Cool. And there's another one that kind of flops downwards. But I think I'm going to keep working on attaching the ones that we've created so far, and then we might go back and then add in some more funsies there. Okay, so let's add another little tie to this. Then I'm using white paint, then I'm just putting a little bit of gray. You can keep it white, you can make it brown, you can make it any color you want, really. Okay. And I'm going to get some black. Okay, so it's like looped around and tied. Okay, and then we want to get some more beads. Wendy, what are you saying here? You're saying, so Wendy did her background black. Need to know what color to do my birds. Ooh. That's exciting. I can't wait to see yours. So is your Dreamcatcher, like, did you make it like white? Because I would either go with like a white or like something that's almost like an off-white. So like a really light blue or really light purple or something like that. That would still really pop against the black, but maybe, I don't know if you would want to have a little bit of a tinge in color. If you want it to be a bit more realistic, I may do like a really light brown, like it almost has like a tinge of brown in white, just to kind of give that vibe, and then have the birds come out that way. That would be kind of cool. I honestly kind of forgot about the birds, to be honest. I've been really enjoying doing all these like little beads and stuff, and I'm like, oh shoot, we gotta do those still. I'm going to put the bead on this guy here. I know I'm just going to attach the same connector, but let's get a nice blue bead on that. I do want to go a little bit lighter than that. No. Let me see if it lighter is for you. A couple more beads there. We need a few more here too. I'm just going to use this purple and just do like a big old purple one. Right. Bango. Right there. There's yellow. Nothing white. Okay. Also with the beads, you can add like a little like curve, a little touch of white. I don't know if you guys ever remember or ever drawn like balloons, and you put like a little like square in the corner, and then it just kind of looks like there's like light shining or whatnot. That's kind of the same idea. So you just put like a little thing that's like a little light, so it kind of gives it like a curvature, so you know it's round. That's an easy way to make it look realistic. Okay, I also want to attach this part here. Same thing. Put black around. And just put some black down the center of that like that. Okay. And then let's connect. That. Just try to outline these in black too. So make them pop. So now it's dry, it should be easy. I'm just going to outline my beads slightly in black. To make them pop. Okay. So this one still needs to be attached. Okay. And then we have some ones that are just hanging kind of randomly. So I think where are we at? We're at 8 o'clock already. Okay, so I think maybe what I'll do is let's put in where we want that dreams to live and the bird, and then maybe a few other birds, and then we'll go back and then put in some of the strings in, because we might have to like cut it if that's taking a little bit too much longer. Putting a little more black on my so I'm just gonna make sure my black paint is really viscose and easy to use. My fine point brush as well, and you're just going to handwrite it as best as you can. And if you don't want to handwrite it, or if you want to write something different, if you want to put dreams, cool. If you want to put hope or love or any sentiment, you can make it anything you want. So I think I'm going to stick with dreams. And I'm going to just bring the line come down. Okay. Ta-da! Oh yeah, Linda, I feel you with the circles. The circles drive me insane. Like I'm much like, whew, yeah, I can't. I just can't. I mean, I did, but I mean, like, oh, that's hard. Okay, so I also want to make the little connector thing, the wrap where this is living. Okay, so again, let's grab a little bit of that brown, like that brown. Okay, so let's get the black again, so I can outline it slightly. It's very thick. That's what that's looking like. That's the way it's gonna stay. Okay, so let's go back and put in that bird. So black. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we have this kind of goes into the tail. So I'm gonna just put in the tail, and then it goes like the wing and the wing out. Okay. And I want to put the wingspan in. Okay, we'll curve and come out. Okay, and then the same thing on this side too. So this one's a bit shorter. And it kind of comes out. I'm just going to fill it in black. This bird does not have a head yet, but it will. Okay, so then we're going to put in the little head. Curve out. Kind of a interesting head, but there we go. There we go. Using the back of my brush for the circle. That is a good idea. Really good idea, Rula. Okay, cool. So I think I want to put in a few more random birds. So there's another one that's kind of down. like this, like a curve, and then it kind of just comes down. Again, this is just the idea of birds in the background. This isn't very far back. Very thin body. Okay. Okay, and then another one here. Like wing comes out. And it comes out this way too. I'm gonna put a head on that guy. Okay. And then there's like a little few little M shapes. There's another one here. Kind of like an arrow. And then a little hook on the end. Look kind of funky. It's all good. It's a lot of birds. A lot of birds in this dream world of ours. I don't know. Birds are fine, but I don't know if I want this many birds in my dream world. Oops. That bird, I kind of squished that bird. Alright, I think those are the birds I'm putting in. Why not? I think that's a great idea, Carol. Carol's just going to put a bit of color in the misshaped circles and triangles. I think so too. Like I said, I was going to put in a little bit in here because I feel like that seems weird that you can see the background in it. Granted, I didn't. I mean, I may still go back and add a little bit. As of right now, I'm for time and stuff, I won't do that right now. But I do want to add a few of those strings with the beads hanging. I don't think it will take that much longer to do something like that. So, like here, there lives, I guess some of those strings live without, yeah, that makes sense, okay. So there's like a nice small one here, so there's just a string that hangs with a white bead on it. And there's another string that hangs. This one comes right down. That's pretty. So I'm going to put some of these little lines happening. So another one's going to come raise it slightly. Okay, there we go. And then too much paint is going to be a bit weird. So another one that's going to come down. This one that was behind this guy, and then it's going to pop back out here. Wait, that's another feather. Sleepy feather! I don't know if I'm going to put that one in. I'm just going to put in some beads, I think. Okay, and then there is another one that's like here. It kind of hides behind this one. And then it pops back out like here. Cool. And there's another one that kind of comes out of here. And then another line that comes out and down. Okay. I need to be a little thinner on my brush. It's plumping up a little bit too much. Okay. I'm going to put another line like here too, I think. Nice little key there. Maybe another one like here. Yeah. Okay, so what do I want? I want some white beads. So I want one here, a nice white one. Oh, don't fall, canvas. Okay. And then we're gonna have a white, like a nice big white bead here at the bottom of the set. Okay, cool. Let's do like a green one, like here. Okay, and I think I want it to be like a yellowy green. Another one. And bigger. And then maybe a smaller, just yellow one. Yeah, that's cute. I like that. Okay. And then what? And then I think maybe like a pink or something. I'll do like a pink one. Here. Ooh, haha. It's cute. Okay. And this one that's hanging. With blue. That's cute. Yellow. Okay. I'm struggling for my last couple of colors. I don't really want to add more paint to my canvas, but I want orange to happen, or some semblance of it. So I think I'll go upside down for this one. And then... Oh no, Valerie's. The dogs must be going crazy. I feel you though. It's definitely taking a bit longer than I thought it would take, but I'm really enjoying this. I'm glad you are too, Tracy. That's awesome. It's great. Just adding some more little beads there, and then what else do we want to do? Okay. Oh, there's this guy here too. This guy has a lot of beads on him. Okay. Make it a little darker. Maybe a lot darker. That's okay. So this one to deal with here too. Oh, I'm glad you were really enjoying it, Wendy. I think that's a great idea. To do a few other different varieties of it. Well, you can do so many things with it, so for sure. Okay. Alright, I like the way those are hanging. Very, very nice. And another one over here, so let's do like maybe some white to start this time. It's kind of being pinky actually. I kind of like that. And then once you add the highlight and like the little accent to it, I think that will work out really good. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so now let's get a little bit of white. And I'm just going to add a little, like a little line, a small curved line. To give the indication that there's like a little bit of light shine and a bit of a curve. Okay, cool. And then I would say two, we would just outline them a little bit in the black. Cool. Just outlining the beads. Covered up the line on that one. Yeah, I think that is good. I think some of them have a little, when it comes out. That's kind of cool like that. Cool. All right, I think I'm gonna call it complete for tonight. All right, so Tracy, yes, she said added some butterflies, which is fantastic. I love that idea. And she says, my indigenous culture believes that the bigger the hole is in the center of the dream catcher, it allows for more bad dreams and negative energy to go out, and in turn allows the positive energy and good dreams to come in. And we should hang them above the bed. I love that. That's really, really cool. Thanks for sharing. That is really neat. And Wendy says she's thinking of putting a wolf in the bottom corner. I think that's a great idea. I feel like there is some empty space going on here that I kind of want to fill too. I think for tonight though, I am going to call it, I'll go back here for a moment. I'm going to call it a night. For now, it's 8:30, so it was a 2.5 hour session. I hope you guys, well, a lot of you guys did stick around, so thank you so much. I'll take a picture of mine too and put it up in our group. And if you guys would like to share, I'd love to see your paintings. So please snap a picture and put them in the group as well. And again, on Saturday, we'll have 3 more options for you to choose from and vote. And then we'll paint again live on Wednesday again. So have a fantastic rest of your week. And thank you so much for joining me and painting along with me. It was really fun. And I really enjoyed it. All right, everyone. Have a great night. Thanks. Bye.